What's better than the Yakima Topwater Box? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan Rice. So what's better than the Yakima Topwater Box? That's having two of them. Yes, we have two of them now, and there's a reason behind this. I'm going to modify this box for a simple storage box. I have one now that does my fishing rods and some other things, but I'm going to remove the fishing rod racks themselves. So now I'll have some spares in case I break one of the other ones. And we're going to use this simply for a storage box. This box is rated for 50 pounds. And the reason why I went with a topwater box over another Yakima rooftop box is because of the span. You know, this box, you can have crossbars anywhere from 27 to 80 inches, I think. A lot of the other Yakima top, carrier boxes that you see on cars have like a span for your crossbars, like up to like 42 inches or so. So being this is going on my ladder rack from Yakima, the overhaul HD rack, those bars are spaced out a lot more. Plus, with this rack on my, with the box on my rack, having two of them, it still leaves me room to put my Hobie PA angler on my roof rack. I have the 78 inch crossbars from Yakima. So with these two boxes on there, spaced out where I need them to fit on the rack, it still leaves me 42 inches in between the two boxes. The Hobie PA is 39 inches wide, and even my New Canoe Unlimited is 41 inches wide. So it gives me just enough room to get my straps through there wrapped around the bars and be able to still haul a second kayak on top of my rack. But I'm going to use this simply for storage. So the rack comes with, or the box, I keep saying rack, the box comes with these supports that go through the bottom, and you put this inside the box. And this is made to fit around like almost any round tubular ladder rack, or even, obviously the crossbars from Yakima themselves. So this topwater box gives you the ability to mount on pretty much anything. You see these on trailers, anything that you can get this bar to fit around, you can get this box to fit on, as long as you don't go wider than 80 inches. But we're using the Smart T-Slot kit from Yakima. It's part number 800-4094. I'll leave these parts in the description with the topwater box. I got like two other videos on the topwater box. But I like using the T-bolts themselves. With this kit, you still use this rail, and you use one of these thumb screws to hold this box onto the rack. It works with any ladder rack that has the T-slot in it, but obviously this is made for Yakima itself, so it works very, very well together, but it will fit in any ladder rack with a T-slot. But the reason why I use this is I think these are ugly. I mean, they're not horrible looking, but it's just exposed underneath. This gives it more of a clean install, nicer looking, and it's harder for people to realize how this thing's attached. So if somebody wanted to come with a Sawzall, yeah, you can run underneath there and find this and cut it off. But these here, it's exposed. People can see these real easy and just run a Sawzall or a grinder through these. Having this mount keeps it more secure, I guess you could say, in my opinion, and it gives it a lot cleaner install. But we're going to start removing the inserts for the fishing rods themselves. They give you the T30 bit, I guess you could say, to remove these, because you can shift these around, these actual inserts, and make them a little bit farther apart or a little bit closer together. But they actually give you the kit, the piece that you need, the T30. You actually have one at your house with a drill to remove these. So we're going to take these out real quick, and we're going to get this mounted on the truck, and I'll show you the reason why I got a second topwater box. As far as a fishing rod holder for you to be able to transport these in a well manner to keep them protected, there's nothing really out there yet on the market that is better than this box, in my opinion. You can make a lot of DIY stuff with DIY, yeah, do it yourself products out there with, doing tubes and all that stuff. But, with the tubes, if you don't protect your rods completely or your reels, they do bounce around. They will get scratched up. That's a lot less, expensive route doing the tube, but still the tube, even if you're using an 8-inch tube, it only really holds maybe like, if you alter it, maybe like 8 rods, maybe, if that. And if you throw spinning rods in there, maybe 4 to 6. So we like the topwater box. There is another one coming out in the market soon from a brand that does not out there yet. They're still working on the patent, so they may be able to improve on this. I've done like the conduit carriers in the past from WeatherGuard. It's a big square box I had on one of my videos on one of my utility trailers I made for my kayak to carry my rods. That worked well. That's made for 10-foot conduit. So I just took like a foam pad up at the first 2 feet of it to keep the rods from going too deep that you couldn't reach in. Once again, that works well, but you still have to protect your rods and reels when it's being carried in something that's metal on metal. So it really scratched up the rods and the reels if you didn't protect them. But this, having these here in the box itself, really elevate the rods up from the bottom. It's got these bungees that hold it tight. This video is not really completely about the fishing rod aspect of this, but I just kind of want you to know a little bit about this box if you didn't watch one of my previous videos that really showed this more or less for fishing rods. But we're just using this completely for storage. We're going to get this mounted on the truck. I'm going to show you that these T-slots go really easy into the T-slot on the Yakima ladder rack. And we're going to put this in there for you. And one thing before we get into the install, obviously if you remove the holders themselves, you have 2 holes. They do make plug kits for this. I didn't order it because I'm just going to run some tape on the inside, and anything that's in this box can really get wet anyway. And one other complaint you hear about on the internet is these right here, the springs and these arms. People had these springs break before, or come loose or come off. Now listen, you have a warranty with Yakima. It's a limited lifetime warranty. If this arm breaks or this spring breaks within a certain period, you're going to be all right. Just call them up, they'll give you a new one. And if they don't, it's not a big deal. These spring, the whole arm assembly and the spring itself only costs $11 from Yakima's website. All these pieces, I think this is like 15 bucks or maybe a little bit more. Everything is inexpensive itself for the parts inside this box to replace if it's not covered under warranty. Besides that, these are a great box for fishing rods. They're very durable, and with the 3 latches on this, it makes it secure. But listen, no matter what we have on our vehicles today, with all the cordless tools out there, I say this in all my videos, anybody can break into any of these things. So if you're really concerned about protecting your items when you're at a hotel or something, if you have a really expensive rods in here and you're really concerned about it, take them inside with you. I have insurance on all my gear, and the reason why, it's very inexpensive to cover all my reels and rods for the year. All my kayak gears, my kayaks themselves, everything is covered by insurance for less than $100 a year. So if anything's lost, broken, stolen, whatever, I'm covered. So to me, it's good to look into insurance for your gear if you have a lot of money invested in kayak fishing like I do, because under $100 to have everything covered no matter what happens, it gives you peace of mind. And if somebody does take your stuff, which we know it happens to everybody, at least you're covered and you're not going to be totally upset about it. So let's get into the install. Enough of me rambling on. So if you haven't been to my channel before and seen my previous setup, I have the one Yakima box, Topwater box, on top of my Yakima over All HD rack. I got some Milwaukee packouts on here I modified to stick on the side rail. But you can see I got the 78-inch crossbar. So the other Yakima Topwater boxes can go over here. And it still leaves me plenty of room in between. Sorry, the sun's probably in your eyes in the camera here. On this side, I have the roto packs where I keep some straps and stuff in here, and this is water for specific reasons. I went over that in another video. But you can see, I don't know if you can see up here right now, but I got the key facing in. I face these boxes inward, so the key is on the inside, so I can step up in here, work on my gear, and just get off, because the truck I have has built-in steps. So I'm able just to step up here, get up top, unlock this, and work on my gear. But we're going to install the other box real quick. I'm going to show you what I have in this box and what's going to be in the box that sits over here, and what I'm going to keep in it. I'm going to do one modification for something on the inside, which I'll show you here shortly. But let's get this installed. To install this, we have to, you can see right here is the slot. That T-slot just rides inside the rail here, and that's all it is, and that one nut. So to do that, we do have to cut back this stripping. We'll probably just peel it out for now, remove it, and get that box mounted, and then we'll put this, it's a strip to keep out the air so you don't get any wind noise from your rack, and we'll cut that to fit. But you can see right here's your slot. Slide that T-bolt in, put it on top of here, tighten it down, and I show you one little trick I do with the box itself to keep it a little bit more watertight. So on this Overhaul HD rack from Yakima, when you slide this box outward, it almost has a stopping point, and that's the end caps. That's kind of where I set this up, is just to be against those end caps. So it leaves the end of the ladder rack free and available to still use the tie downs built into this, which I probably won't, but at least gives the ability for it to be free. We're going to line this one up with the same measurement for the other box so they line up, and we're going to slide the T-slots in here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that right now. So this is it. This is just the T-slot nut. It's pretty much squared off, not rectangular. And at first, when I first used these, I was a little skeptical that this is the only thing that's holding on the box going down the highway doing 80 miles per hour. But I've had the box on my truck now, the other one, for over 9 months, and I haven't had any problems whatsoever. All you got to do is slide the T-bolt into the spot. I just pick up on the box itself, grab the T-bolt, set it down inside. That's it. There's a couple of parts I'm going to show you that goes on top of this and holds it in place, but that's it, guys. So they give you these peel and stick rubber backs to make this grippy, and you mount this underneath right here, and that's what gives some kind of grip to the inside of the box when you tighten this down. So to apply it, just peel it off, stick it centered on that screw right there, and just kind of work it into the groove, both sides, and then just flip it over, get it pretty tacked on there, and once you tighten this down, it's not going to come off anyway. We're going to do the other one real quick. Same thing. Just pull off the sticky back. This is why you have to have nails. Sometimes it's good being a chick. You can have long nails and get things like this off easier. Same thing. Center it on that hole. Work it into the grooves. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. And that's it. Now you're going to take it, once you get your box situated, lay it right on top of that T-bolt. Take your thumb screw that comes with the actual U-bolts mounts, if that's what you want to call them. Make sure you're situated where you need it to be. Give it a small bit of a snug there. Same thing, come up to the front, stick it on that T-bolt, and if that little groove fits around this actually groove here in the middle, grab the other thumb screw, get it started, and tighten it down. Now when I tighten these, I really tighten them, because you're basically, it's a thin piece of carbon fiber plastic material, and it bites down right on top of the aluminum crossbar. So don't be shy. I've tightened these down pretty hard and never cracked anything. So once it gets pretty snug, I just give that last half turn. You kind of hear it squeal, and that's it. And this thing does not go anywhere. It's actually, it was hard for me to believe that this is all it's holding this box on, but there's no problems with this mount whatsoever. So you can see Yakima gives you the seal that you have to cut the sides that fit in these slots. With all these slots, that's why you have such a wide range of ability to mount this to almost anything. Like I said, it goes down to, I think 27 inches is the shortest span, and the largest span of your crossbars, even if it's on a ladder rack like I have here on a longer bed, it's 80 inches. That's why I went this route. Plus it gives me the room in between these two things right here, between the two boxes themselves, to fit my second kayak. So I'm going to cut these to size next. I'm going to put these in, and I'm going to show you something that's the only complaint about the Topwater box is these seals. And I'm going to tell you why, because once you cut these in, they're not tight. They don't hold tight. So I take a black Gorilla Tape after I put the seals in, and I line over the top of that, and I wrap it on top of this, and it gives it a much better dust-proof fine mist seal. Like I said, I got these little holes that I had from removing the fishing rod holders. I'm just gonna take that black Gorilla Tape, which is really tacky, and stick it over these holes. Maybe if I feel bored one day or ambitious, I may get the plugs from Yakima itself, but the black Gorilla Tape will be fine for now. Like I said, this is fishing kayak gear. It can get wet up in here. It doesn't have to be super dry, as long as it's like 90% dry anyway. But I'm gonna put this stuff in. It's a boring procedure to see me cut this to size. I'll come back with you and show you what I did with the Gorilla Tape. So before I put the tape on top, I want to show you what I meant. No matter how tight I get these seals, I know they come kind of twisted up, and I'm putting this in extreme hot heat, try to get these sealed to lay flat in the hot heat down here in South Carolina. And I let it go in the box for about a few days, and no matter what I did, no matter how tight I got this, they would still curl up. But just like I said, I use the seal as a backing. You can see a piece here curling up, and I'm gonna put that black Gorilla Tape over it, because also when I do the Gorilla Tape, covers that hole right there, which is your 2 holes that usually these thumb screws go through. So they are exposed as well now that I'm using this T-bolt setup. So I just kind of duct tape all that stuff and everything is fine. And we're gonna get that installed. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna put in here, but I'm gonna do one modification right up in this area here in the front. All right, we got the tape installed over the holes and over this seal from Yakima. Like I said, it's the only complaint I have about the seal, or about Yakima Topwater Box, is that seal. Even if the seal was good, I would probably still do the tape just because that's how I am. Just a backup, keeps a little bit more watertight and holds that seal in place. So my modification is taking a piece of this gym mat. You can buy it at the local box store. You can get like a 6-pack of this. This is about 1/2 inch thick. I'm actually going to cut this to size. It's actually been cut before for something else. I'm going to cut it to size and fit it inside this box. I'm probably going to do about 2 pieces here, and it's going to give me cushioning for something you'll see. So the reason why I put the gym mat is because this is where my torpedo and battery is going to sit. Let me grab my battery real quick. So this is where my battery and torpedo is going to sit. I chose more of the front of the box and being over the rail, because remember, this box is only rated for 50 pounds, and in the middle you have a little bit of flex. Obviously it will take a lot to break this, but I'm just kind of going with some scientific reasoning of what I'm doing here. But you know, the motor is the heaviest thing that's going to be in this box. I have it towards the front of the box. The rail's right here, weight of the motor's right here, battery's right here, and that's the reason why I put this padding, is because this will give it some protection. Sorry, I'm out of breath, I'm out of shape. I gotta get my butt back on the water. But it'll give me protection here for when the truck bounces. Obviously the front of the truck bounces less than the back, but if I'm going a little bit off-road, I wanted to choose the front of this box and give a little bit of protection and a little bit of cushioning, you know, and disperse the weight a little bit with the mats of the motor. So I'm going to load this box up. The other box is already loaded. I'll show you what I'm keeping inside this box and the other box, and it covers all my kayak equipment minus my kayak itself and my Black Pack Pro pack, back, whatever you want to call it. That usually stays on my kayak anyway. If I'm staying at a hotel, I'll just stick that inside of my interior of my truck, which is rare. Most of the time I'm on the kayak and it's not usually left that much, but if I do have to stay somewhere where I don't trust it, I will just throw the pack in the back of my truck, but everything else will be locked up inside these boxes. So let's get it loaded. All right, we're going to start on the box that we just installed. We're going to go over the inside of this and what I keep inside. One thing I did do, since I had extra, is I put down another piece of mat, and that's to protect my fish finder and actually have the my anchor on here as well, not banging against the box. But I had the torpedo motor in here and battery. I got my dry bag. I just want to show you that I did cut around the knob for the thing. So this goes in here. My dry bag, I'm doing this on the fly as I'm filming this. I'm sure I'll rearrange this a bit. My fish finder is probably going to be mounted a little bit differently on my kayak this year. So the only thing that may be in here is just the screen itself. We'll see. My Aqua batteries, the third one's inside the cell block. I got my headlamp and another cordless Milwaukee light. I got my anchor. I got my PFD. I got my Yak Attack landing net, leverage landing net. And that's what's all inside this box. So this is why I got this additional box, is to keep all this other gear right here and have a place to lock it and not keep it inside the bed of my truck. Now, if you've been following along, you saw not too long ago I had a deck box in my other truck. Unfortunately, I just had to get rid of that truck because of mechanical issues. This will shut down once I get everything packed the way it should. One thing I have noticed, though, real quick off subject, is that being that this doesn't have the fishing rod holders like the other side, it has a little bit more play and wiggle room on the box itself. But this is like a carbon fiber plastic mix. I'm not worried about it. If I do have any problems with anything cracking the way I have this laid out, I will let you guys know. But back to where I was. I had the deck box in my other truck. I love the thing. I literally just bought it, but the truck I just got is a longer bed. This is a 6 3/4. It's almost 7 feet long, the Chevys. So obviously the deck box was only for a 5.5 foot bed. So I had to sell that. And at the same time, having this longer bed here, I decided I like it. I like having the open bed. I do love the deck drawers. I may get a set down the line. Never know with me. But right now I'm enjoying the open bed of the new truck, being that it's longer and just having the ability to do some stuff for work. So that's why I went with this option of adding another box. It's also cheaper. I sold my deck drawers for a really good price, but I had to get rid of them because they didn't fit in this bed anymore because it's longer. Now, if it did, I would have thrown them in this truck and probably kept it. I might have still got another box up here just for the simple fact that you can never have enough storage. But you can see what I keep inside this box. I'm going to rearrange it a bit. Like I said, I'm doing this on the fly, but this keeps all my gear that I need besides my kayak and my black pack. That's the only two things that need to go either in the bed of my truck or inside the cab of my truck. On this side, you can see I have my fishing rods. I have my NRS boots so I can go into the water and stay dry. I have my rain gear on this side. I may take the rods a little bit out of the way for you here, but right now I got 6 rods in here. Underneath here I do have the track packs that go on my kayak to keep some of my lures, and I do have room for other tackle boxes that I just don't have in here right now. I have my paddle in here broken in half. I have my Visipole flag. Pretty much what's in this side has always been in the side in my previous videos. I'm just showing you if you haven't been to my channel before. I got my camera pole for my GoPros. I got my catch board. I have, I think, something else in here. I'm not sure. It might be buried, but you get the point. So this is all my gear, my tackle, my catch board, my rain gear, my boots, my fishing poles, my camera equipment. Everything is basically on this side. On this side is my motor, my battery, my fish finder, extra batteries, my Knockwell batteries, my leverage landing net, and my PFD and my anchor and my dry bag. So this is all my gear that I need to go kayak fishing, and I still have room in here to add more tackle boxes like I said, and I do have more room over here to add things once I can rearrange it a bit. But I just grabbed everything real quick that I needed to throw in here for the video. Like I said, this holds 50 pounds. These are what they're rated for. I have no problem here. I think this is gonna be plenty strong. Like I said, I just put the motor towards the front so it's underneath the rail, and I think I'm gonna have no problem with this, and it closes just fine once I get everything laying flat and locks up. And this side, once again, locks up real easy, and that's it. So all my gear is into the 2 Yakima Topwater boxes. Will I get a set of deck drawers later on? You never know. That's if I fall into some money, but right now this was a better option for me because I wanted to enjoy having the bed. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope it gives you guys ideas out there. These Yakima Topwater boxes can go on ladder racks, trailers. It gives you all the ability to store everything that you need for kayak fishing. If you carry more gear than me, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to get another setup or get some drawers or a bigger box. If you have a trailer, you can put a storage box on there as well. But this works for me. The best time to buy these boxes is in November because that's when Yakima usually has 20% off their entire website. You can get these boxes for like 500 bucks. This time around, I had to sell the deck drawers. I was able to afford to buy this at full price. I think it's $629. It works for me. I like the look of it, and it still gives me room for my kayak in the middle. I'm going to jump down here and kind of give you an overview. Jump with me, guys. So you can see what it looks like on my truck with the overhaul HD rack and how the overall truck looks from afar. I have to add some more stickers to the other one to make myself feel better because I love stickers. But there's a walk around, guys, of the kayak adventure vehicle that hopefully will last me for 5 years. It's pretty sad when you have to hope that a new vehicle will last you for 5 years without having any issues. So I hope you guys like this video. It's been a lot of change this year with all my truck setups. It's just ridiculous that we have to go through the struggle of new vehicles and not having anything last when it's brand new. It just blows my mind what we live in today and what we have to deal with. But this setup's going to work for me for now. I hope it gives you guys out there an idea and you guys enjoyed watching it. So as always, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you guys on the water. See you soon.